Deep beneath the ruins of Ashwood Asylum, a labyrinthine network of abandoned wards and cells stretches into the darkness. This was once a place where the most broken minds were sent to cure their afflictions. But what if the true horror wasn't the doctors, but the patients themselves? The asylum's dark history is one of unimaginable suffering, where patients were subjected to inhumane experiments and brutal treatments. The regime that ran Ashwood was notorious for its ruthless approach to treatment, with countless patients meeting their demise at the hands of overzealous orderlies and sadistic doctors. But amidst the chaos, a peculiar anomaly began to manifest. Patients who gazed into a mysterious mirror installed in the asylum's main chamber would be stripped of their skin, leaving behind nothing but skeletal remains and vacant stares. The incident was dismissed as an urban legend, a ghost story born from the twisted minds of former inmates. But those who ventured too close to Ashwood knew better. They whispered tales of an unholy presence lurking in the shadows, watching and waiting for its next victim. As I stood before the mirror, my heart racing with anticipation, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The reflection staring back at me was mine, yet somehow different. Its eyes seemed to bore into my soul, a malevolent presence seeping into every pore of my being. And then, it happened. My skin began to crawl and blister, peeling away like rotten flesh. I watched in horror as I stripped off my own skin, leaving behind a vacant husk that was no longer me. The more I gazed into the mirror, the more I felt myself slipping away. The world around me grew distorted, colors bleeding into one another like watercolors on wet paper. I was trapped in a nightmare from which I couldn't awaken, tormented by the memories of my own atrocities. But it wasn't until I stumbled upon an ancient government file that I discovered the true horror beneath Ashwood's crumbling facade. The Disease X project, codenamed Erebus, was a biological weapon designed to rewire the human brain, erasing free will and turning its victims into mindless drones. And Ashwood Asylum was one of the testing grounds for this monstrosity. The last entry in the file read, Patient 314 failed to comply with treatment protocols. Skin shedding complete. Patient now stripped of all cognitive function. Repeat, patient is no longer human. I stared at those words, frozen in terror, as the full weight of my own existence crashed down upon me like a physical force. In that moment, I knew I was not who I thought I was. The disease had taken hold, and I was just another victim of Erebus, lost forever in a sea of madness and despair. And when I finally broke free from the mirror's grasp, I was left with nothing but a screaming void, my mind shattered by the horrors that lurked within.